be an emotional occasion. Liverpool and Celtic coming out side by side in this very much a match of friendship. The first time Liverpool will go about their business as a football club since that tragic afternoon at Hillsborough on April the 15th. And a truly moving scene here at Parkhead. The fans mingling together, red and white and green and white scarves hoisted high, and the strains of You'll Never Walk Alone inevitably ringing around the stadium. And this is going to be an emotional occasion, to say the least, for these players. Some of them will feel a little strange, I'm sure, out there, but have you ever seen a sign quite like that? It's a wonderful scene. Just, of course, so sad that it is the consequence of that tragic event in Sheffield. The supporters of both clubs singing so lustily, and scarcely can a testimonial match have aroused so much passion and interest. But the Celtic players applaud their own fans, and they in turn applaud back. A truly emotional return to Parkhead for Kenny Dalglish, one of the favourite sons of Celtic. He began his footballing career here 20 years ago, and he's taking the number 7 shirt in this lineup, named of course by himself as the player manager, though the player title tends to have been dropped by Kenny Dalglish in recent months. He's had only 2 appearances as a substitute all season, but this was one match he simply could not wish to miss. Dalglish wearing the black armband, as indeed are all the players, as a tribute to those who lost their lives. And those are the Celtic fans singing the praises of Ian Rush, who takes his place in the number 9 shirt, and that's been a rare sight this season. Here is the Celtic lineup, named by Billy McNeil, and what a fine gesture by him and the Celtic club to offer to play Liverpool at a time like this, so that Liverpool can just begin to pick up the pieces again and get back to their life as a football club. Now, in a moment, there will be a 1-minute silence in memory of all those who died at Hillsborough. Silence have said so much. I don't think I've ever seen a 1-minute silence so strictly observed before. Noticeable there, a number of the players with their heads bowed, and that symbolic gesture of the fans with their scarves. So this is a testimonial game, but now the football can begin, and that will be a relief, I'm sure, to some of the Liverpool players who do want to get on with what they do best in life, which is to play the game, and they are perhaps the champions elect again in England, who knows. Liverpool in all round at playing Celtic in the most famous green and white hoop shirts in world club football. And the ball laid back to Bruce Grobbelaar by Alan Hansen, and how good to see the former Partick Thistle man playing football again. He was, of course, a surprise inclusion in that semi-final lineup at Hillsborough. And Alan Hansen, having been out all season, will be delighted he's back in the thick of things. Fans are singing. They're obviously in the mood to enjoy the football now. As the free kick comes off the leg of Barry Venison, wearing number 5 for Liverpool this afternoon. Ronnie Whelan has earned a rest after a long and arduous season. The ball surely out of play and run out by Anton Rogan. Over 60,000 people in the crowd here, and of course this a rematch of a meeting only 3 or 4 weeks ago in Dubai, when the sides met for the Super Cup, the Dubai Super Cup. Celtic won on penalties on that occasion. Oh, lovely skill there, but just ran away from Tommy Burns, and it's won back again by Roy Aitken for Celtic. Nicking it inside and taken on by Burns as well, and Burns will get in the first shot of the game. Straight at Grobbelaar and lacks strength. Tommy Burns working the opening neatly. Now here come Liverpool at the form of their player manager. It's Dalglish to Ray Houghton. Peter Beardsley's on the bench this afternoon. And off by Rush back to Kenny Dalglish, who floating one of those tantalising crosses of his towards John Barnes, far post. And a good stretch from Pat Bonner. John Barnes, one of those footballers who chose not to play for England last week because he said his mind was still not right after the tragedy. Forward by David Burrows and taken on the chest by Ian Rush and laid off for Steve McMahon, but McCarthy had committed the foul, so referee Bob Valentine from Dundee has awarded a free kick to the Englishman. Rush's case, of course, a Welshman. And here's another Scot, Alan Hansen, about to take the free kick. Lob towards John Barnes, who'll be shadowed over there by Billy Stark. Barnes will still get his crossover, just too long for Rush, put away by Rogan. So it's Liverpool who have the game's first corner. And Nicol now, it eluded Bonner, and the first chance of the game going to Ray Houghton, who got too far underneath that. The ball skied over the crossbar. Houghton should be disappointed with that finish. Rather snapped at it, he did have time, as we can see here. Pat Bonner's punch by no means convincing, and the chance wasted. Barnes again in the thick of it. Nicol will do well to keep this ball in play. Takes it on the chest though. Looking to work it back here for Venison. Barnes in front of him. A little ball forward, Dalglish knocking it back towards Houghton. And now Barnes. So Celtic under some pressure here across the face of goal. Ian Rush just couldn't get the touch. There's Joe Miller over there taking a bit of a tumble. John Barnes with a couple of very deft touches already. It's a better build-up. Stay, hustled out of it by McMahon. And it's Barnes breaking his way free, finding McMahon in support. Now Nicol has to play just up the coast, of course. Ayrshire, they're united. Bonner quickly off the line, had to be as well with McMahon coming in. One or two good touches from Kenny Dalglish. He's lost none of his skill, even at 38. Good turn. And the ball threaded through as well, but Grobbelaar will be there first. Tommy Coyne approaching. Burns, a very astute little midfield player. Seems to have a strong pair of lungs this afternoon too. Easily cut out by McCarthy. It's more McCarthy. So Liverpool undoubtedly have missed both Alan Hansen and Gary Gillespie at times this season. But in recent weeks they've put their game together, which is why they're such a threat to Arsenal at the top of the First Division. And they do of course get back into league action when they play Everton at Goodison Park on Wednesday night. And it's Celtic now putting on the pressure with Billy Stark. The ball forward is for Coyne, and a good save from Grobbelaar. It's a difficult angle, but Coyne got in a good shot. And Grobbelaar's reflexes are not found wanting on this occasion. Of course, still level in this memorial game between Glasgow Celtic and Liverpool. The players are certainly putting in plenty of effort. Maybe a friendly occasion, but the effort has been good. There, Grobbelaar on the line, taking the ball literally off Mark McGee's toe. And McGee was appealing to the linesman. The flag never went up. And as the ball came over, it was certainly a tricky situation for Grobbelaar to handle. Fortunately for him, the ball went straight to him. So Celtic have conjured up a couple of openings. Aitken and McStay both involved there. Now Anton Rogan, the Northern Ireland international. Be an offside flag against Tommy Burns. He got in round the back of Steve Nicol. Celtic just about the only club side in the world, I imagine, who wear their numbers on their shorts rather than on their shirts. Which I can tell you is a commentator's nightmare. But Liverpool, in the more traditional shirts and shorts, come forward with Barry Venison number 5. Useful ball as well, and here's a chance for Ray Houghton. Oh, Bonner stuck on his line almost. He's about 5 yards in front of it, and Roy Aitken furious with the linesman. He was sure that Houghton was in an offside position. The ball was nodded to him there by Ian Rush, allowed to take it on. Bonner's dive was unnecessary in the end. This time he does have the ball. Well, Celtic certainly had mixed feelings yesterday. They held old rivals Aberdeen to a goalless draw up at Pittodrie. But that result handed the championship to their greatest rivals of all, Glasgow Rangers. I think they would have to admit, though, that on this season's form, Rangers are the worthy champions. So Celtic have lost their title. In 4th place at the moment. Liverpool, of course, in 2nd place in the Football League, tucked in behind Arsenal. Barnes now taking and giving back to Nicol. Now McMahon. The Liverpool build-up is deliberate here, and McMahon and Barnes might just get in the shot. Oh, Bonner can't hold it, and it's a goal for Kenny Dalglish. Of all people. Oh, no wonder he's smiling. Well, that's poetic justice, I suppose. Dalglish has scored some great goals in his career. I don't suppose he would class this as one of the most stylish, but that won't matter. His name is on the score sheet. In all honesty, it was a gift handed to him by Pat Bonner. So the man everybody wanted to see score has done just that. Celtic 0, Liverpool 1, the goal scorer, Kenny Dalglish. Strange to say, that will have pleased the Celtic fans in the crowd as much as the Liverpool fans. Not often one can say something like that. Gary Ablett has come on to replace Gary Gillespie. They're still in this first half. Liverpool with the 1-goal advantage. McStay. Such a fixture in the Scotland international side these days, McStay, and that's partly why. Good ball that is given back by Dalglish, so his colleagues wouldn't have thanked him for that. Joe Miller, once at Aberdeen, was unable to profit. McMahon has come very deep here to try and instigate something. Lovely ball out for Barnes, whose control is impeccable again. Now the cross is flattened towards Ian Rush, so inside the Celtic penalty area. Rush has to take it outside again, and then could get no strength behind his pass, but Celtic playing themselves into trouble again. Still here is Houghton inside the area, and Bonner struggling. Well, Houghton no more than a foot wide, I would say there. Pat Bonner backpedaling frantically, wasn't going to get there. Houghton's turn, little toe poke, and that's how close he was. Still the only goal scorer though, Kenny Dalglish. It's debatable as to whether Dalglish will appear for the second half. He's used himself so sparingly. And he does of course have both John Aldridge and Peter Beardsley on the substitutes bench. Celtic's Roy Aitken diving in for the challenge. This must be offside against Houghton. Ironic cheering there because the flag stayed down the last time he broke through. Much to the chagrin of the Celtic defence. The Celtic supporters still have plenty of voice left at this late stage of the season. It's coming towards its climax, and here they are inside the area with Tommy Burns, and Grobbelaar flicking it over the top. And did he get a touch? Well, Burns certainly knew what he wanted to do there as he took the ball back from McGee, fired it in, and in fact there was no touch. Nickel. Dalglish. Familiar little hunched run of his. And now David Burrows. It's McMahon's pass there, truly wayward. He's done well to win it back for his side, but still Celtic coming forward in numbers this time, preferring to raid down the right with Miller, who wants to get past Burrows, and he's certainly got good speed. The former West Brom man just getting a foot in. So a vast crowd here to pay tribute and also to enjoy their Sunday afternoon's football. Miller will take a corner for Celtic. Firmly away by Hansen. I'm sure Andy Roxburgh will be interested in Hansen's display, and the chance may be here. Thundered over the top. So Billy Stark couldn't make it count. And much as this is a friendly game and a memorial match, Liverpool will want to take a little bit of revenge for that beating they suffered in Dubai. Of course, this is an important game for them too, to get the feel of the game once more. They've got that FA Cup semi-final still, news of that later, perhaps the final two, and the run into the league season. So this is important for them. They want to put on a good performance here. It's a bit tight for them down that touchline though. Barnes still jostling for it with Peter Grant. Not much room out there at the moment. Tackles flying in. Well, that was a good little touch though, towards Houghton from Rush. And now Barnes for Liverpool. Trying to size up the options. Familiar little shuffle of his where he strides over the ball. Nickel confronted by two. Dalglish with the turn, not quite sharp enough. So Kenny Dalglish's goal still separates the sides. And how poignant that is on this occasion. Venison. And indeed, referee Valentine blows the whistle for half-time. It's Celtic 0, Liverpool 1 here. Kenny Dalglish, the scorer of the only goal of that half. Join us for the second half after this break. Parkhead, with Liverpool leading Glasgow Celtic by a goal to 0. And we cannot forget that this is a memorial match, but it is a game of football to be enjoyed. And I think the players out there are enjoying it as much as the crowd are. Elliott has come on for Tommy Burns in this second half. A crowd of over 60,000. The tickets for this match were sold out in a 2-hour spell. Officials of the club said they could have sold another 60,000. So many people just wanted to be here. And a lot of people have come north from Liverpool. Many of them, of course, in the crowd at Hillsborough on that fateful day. Dalglish is still on at the start of the second half, so we decided to have a little bit longer out there, if not the full 90 minutes. Battling there by Tommy Coyne, who scored 33 goals last season in his 43 appearances for Dundee, transferred this season to Celtic. He's still got a good strike rate. To go out of play. Referee Valentine confirms that. And nice to see the smile on Steve Nicholls' face. No doubt about it, the game being played in the true spirit of football. Derek White has come on in place of Joe Miller. Barnes. The crowd would like to see him turn on some of his special brand of skills. Venison though for Liverpool in possession. Hansen for Burrows. Intelligent ball again from Barnes, because it gave Burrows the chance to run it down the line even further for Dalglish. Roaming around as he's done so many times on this ground. There have been many greater favourites in Celtic's history than Kenny Dalglish. He used to play here, of course, in the same team as the current manager, Billy McNeil. Hence the great connection between these two fine clubs. That ball gone over the line. So despite the despairing look from Derek White, it is a throw. And it's Liverpool's. And this is the moment that Kenny Dalglish bids farewell. This could be the last time they'll see him play here at Parkhead. So, a memorable moment. And on comes John Aldridge. And also for him, because he was one of the Liverpool players who didn't find it in their hearts to play in international football during the week. He didn't want to play for the Republic of Ireland, though he admitted later that it might have been the best thing for him to do in the circumstances. He didn't make the journey to Dublin for the Republic's victory over Spain, but here he is now, playing again in a Liverpool shirt, and I'm sure he'll feel a lot better for that. And John Aldridge, I've no doubt, will be looking to add to all the goals he's scored for Liverpool this season, and there have been a lot of them, 22 in all. Celtic's throw, despite the protestations of Hansen, over the top from White. They were never convincing in trying to get this ball away. Once more the finish lacking. Beaten in the air. We've not so far seen any of the lethal finishing power of Ian Rush in this game. It's been a very much an in-and-out season for him in his first year back from Juventus. Now maybe Liverpool can do something. Barnes is in possession. And he mesmerised his man there. A little shimmy, lays the ball over. Safely back from Pat Bonner. Ian Rush, the predator, again denied. Spent some of the season in the reserves trying to regain full fitness. But still Liverpool are leading Celtic through that Kenny Dalglish goal in the first half. And there is the more familiar sight these days of the manager rather than the player manager in the tracksuit. Is the man behind the ball at this free kick for Celtic. 5 men in the Liverpool wall. Another 4 positioned behind them and between them and goalkeeper Grobbelaar. Someone's going to take a pretty long run up here. Could be McStay. Well, Grobbelaar's hardly been troubled so far this afternoon. That one certainly didn't bother him. Rumours of a goal feast have quickly been scotched, just the one goal. And the side's playing it as competitively as you would expect. I'm sure somebody appreciated those signals from Roy Aitken. So it's another Celtic free kick, and again McStay here. Looped over there, but Bruce Grobbelaar again had read the situation just right. The ball almost seems minute in that great big fist of his. Barnes had come into a very withdrawn position there, away from McCarthy's head. Rogan just allowing it to run, then eluding Aldridge. Russia's got across there to dispossess him. And this will be a free kick for Liverpool. Captain Rogan, keen to make up for his mistake, rather overdid it, and the ball quickly played, but they'll have to come back again. Too soon, he says, and Owen Hansen appreciates it. Now the game can continue with Ablett. Burrows skipping inside. Beat McGee beautifully there. McMahon is looking for the supporting nickel. Steve Nicol had an outstanding season for Liverpool. One of the prime contenders for the Footballer of the Year award, which went in the end to Manchester United's Mark Hughes. Barnes again, he'll always trick and tease. So difficult to get the ball off him, he shields it superbly. You wouldn't bank on him not getting his cross in. He might get another chance. Now he's still here. Oh, he's mesmeric at times, and Barnes trying to tee it up. Oh, and it's scraped away, and Bonner can't hold on. Aldridge says thanks very much, and it's 2-0. And John Aldridge has got a 23rd goal of the season. And again, the Celtic fans applauding. John Barnes, in this sort of form, is a wizard. He laid it on initially here for Houghton, and poor Pat Bonner, that's the second time really that he's not been able to hold on to the ball. And the second time he's been penalised, this time by Aldridge. The Liverpool lead 2-0. And the ball given away by Rogan there. He can ill afford to do that. As Houghton takes it on. That's behind the line. So a series of mistakes in defence. It's not been a happy afternoon for Pat Bonner. He could be caught out again. McMahon with the little ball across Barnes, and this time Bonner is behind it. Moment, Glasgow belongs to Liverpool. They're leading 2-0 here in the memorial match. Goals from Kenny Dalglish and John Aldridge. And the Celtic crowd have been somewhat starved of goals recently. Their side hasn't hit its best form in recent weeks, which is hence the disappointment of Rangers taking the title from them. But they're building nicely now with Paul McStay, ever influential, and tricking his way past Burrows. Good defending in depth once more. McMahon getting back to help Burrows out there, and that's so typical of the way Liverpool play. And now Barnes on a run down the left, and there must be chances here. He's got men to aim at as the ball came across. It was Rogan who got it away, but McMahon picking it up once more for Liverpool, and the shot. This time Bonner does hold on. McMahon always dangerous and willing from this sort of range. It must have gone through Bonner's mind that he hadn't held on twice before. It's good to see John Barnes back in the football fold though. I think the crowd have enjoyed his performance as much as that of anyone. Celtic 0, Liverpool 2, with Rogan here for Celtic, being dispossessed by Peter Beardsley, and the chance is on now for Liverpool as Beardsley sprints through that space, finds Aldridge, and Aldridge looping it across goal. Bonner scrambling a little. Could have done better to cut it back. Easy to say that, things seem to happen so quickly, and Rogan losing the control there, giving Beardsley the opportunity to run at Celtic. And when Aldridge latched onto the pass here, he didn't have much time to size up the options. These are the sort of matches that referees tend to find among the easiest on the fixture list. Referee Bob Valentine, I'm sure, would vouch for that. I don't think there's been a bad tackle throughout the game. Here's McMahon for Liverpool. And he's onside, he's John Barnes, and this must spell trouble. Could get one in himself. Oh, good little curler. And it's goal number 3. And this is a feeling of deja vu here, really, as Bonner flings himself around, gets his hands to the ball, can't hold on, and Aldridge bounces again. So Liverpool 3-0, and they were always in trouble once McMahon had split Celtic wide open. Barnes taking his time, teeing it up, and Aldridge nodded his thanks. Just the sort of situation John Aldridge revels in. He might be going for a third here as Barnes trots forward again. Beardsley, Barnes in support. Now Nicol. Such a sprightly player, Steve Nicol. This time it is cut out by Elliott. Liverpool, as has so often happened in this match, seem to win the possession back almost immediately. they just sort of toy with the opposition. Barrows is offside this time. They really do play a cat and mouse game. They lead 3-0. The assist from Aldridge. Celtic just don't seem able to get hold of the ball. And Liverpool aren't going to let them have it either. I think one or two fans are wanting a little bit more action maybe. They might get it now as McMahon plays it wide once more for Barrows. Who's deep inside the Celtic half now. Tackle denies him. Stark. Coyne. Still nothing for him though, and John Barnes once more the ball at his feet as it's been so often this afternoon, plays the ball forward and Ian Rush might get a goal here. Bonner caught off his line. Ian Rush gets his goal and Liverpool lead 4-0.